This DJI Neo is absolutely jam-packed full of features. We can use it for flying FPV, we can use palm control with those autonomous flight modes, we have got app control, we've got manual control, we can do a helix, a boomerang, a drone, a rocket, all sorts of things. And also when it comes to using this with the DJI RC controller, it turns this DJI Neo into a fully functioning drone, doing pretty much the same as what all the other DJI drones can do. All of this for the very keen price point makes it a very appealing option indeed. But it will not have escaped your attention. One thing that this thing is actually lacking is the ability to shoot vertical video. Now this is incredibly surprising given the fact that this drone is absolutely perfect for capturing those short, sharp shots, perfect for posting on social media. But not to worry, because in this video I'm going to show you how you can use the DJI Neo and indeed any footage you have already created to turn that horizontal footage into vertical footage for posting on social media, and how you can set this DJI Neo up when using it with the RC controller and the full version of the DJI Fly app to utilize a feature that DJI introduced a little while back to be able to capture those epic vertical video shots, making your job so much easier. So let's get into it. So of course we need to go out and get some footage for us to work with, and of course what we will later post on social media. And this was my attempt of using the DJI Neo to capture a drone quick shot in what can be said was some extremely challenging windy conditions. And if you've not seen that video yet, I will leave a link to it at the end of this one. It's really not something you're going to want to miss. So now we've gone out and captured our footage. First of all, we're going to view it in our gallery on the DJI Fly app. Now this process is incredibly simple. Okay, what we're going to use is the DJI Neo's quick transfer feature. So all we're going to do is tap this icon right here, and it's going to give us two options: a full download or a trim download. Now for the moment I'm going to use the full download version, okay, and I'm going to show you that trimmed version a little bit later on in the video. So that's going to go ahead and download that actual clip that we've recorded on our drone to our mobile device. Now this isn't a preview version, this is literally the full 4K full fat version now on your device that of course we are going to be able to work with. So now we've downloaded the exact clip we want to work with on our mobile device, we're going to head back to the DJI Fly app's home screen and we're going to click create. This is now going to flip back into portrait mode, and I do apologize, you're going to see a fair bit of that in this video, but basically the DJI Fly app built-in editor only works in portrait mode. Okay, so just something for you to be aware of. So what we're going to do now is simply open this up. We're going to click new project and import the chosen file, which is of course the drone quick shot. So now we've got the project open and our file imported, we are ready to get it into vertical mode. So all we're going to do is click this icon at the top of the screen, which shows in Chinese writing, or what I believe to be Chinese writing anyway. As you can see, it's going to give us a bunch of different aspect ratios that we can choose from. Now of course when it comes to social media, the most popular is of course that 9:16. So what we're going to do is just tap that 9:16. So now we've selected 9:16, essentially what it's going to do is it's going to give us a frame that we can work with. So then what we're going to do is take our horizontal footage and just simply use our fingers, just like zooming in on a mobile phone screen for example, and as we zoom in we're essentially cropping the picture to fit that portrait frame. And if you didn't know already as well, is you can use this DJI Fly app editor to add absolutely all sorts of stuff. We can add intros, outros, we can add text, we can add a filter, we can stylize our actual footage, and then for additional added effect we have got a full sound audio gallery essentially, where you can just add preset music to capture the perfect mood for your shot. So now you've made all the changes and you've created an absolute epic masterpiece ready to show your friends and family on social media. All you need to do is export that file, which is going to put a copy of the video with all the changes that you have made onto your mobile phone device, where you can simply upload it to social media. Now, earlier on in the video, I told you how you can use the Neo with the full RC controller and DJI Flight app to be able to frame your footage absolutely perfectly, making this process later on in editing for any new footage you're going to create so much easier. So let me just show you how you do it. You see, a while back now, DJI introduced something called frame guides that we can access by clicking settings, camera, then scrolling down to frame guides in the app. And whilst again it still doesn't give you native vertical video, we can literally apply that 9:16 frame, for example. Okay, so when we are out flying, not only have we got our usual crosshairs that are optional within the DJI Flight app, you've got this frame, so you can actually tailor your footage to make sure that what you are going to be left over with in editing, you have got the exact footage you want in the center of the frame, so you know when you post it in that 9:16 format exactly what you're going to be getting. So you know that, if you've got a subject or a landmark that you're filming, you just need to fly a little bit further away from the subject to take into account the fact you'll be cropping in at a later date when you come to edit this footage. Now, earlier on in the video, I told you I was going to explain the difference between a full download and a trimmed download once you've been out shooting the content you want to create and you want to download it onto your device for editing in the DJI Flight app editor, as you have just seen. So what we're going to do is just import our current file, which is the one I've just been filming and working on. But what we're going to do is, because of course this was all manual flying, I wasn't using spotlight mode or anything like that, okay? I was fully trying to control the gimbal and the sticks in quite sort of windy conditions again, so it was a bit of a challenge. But because obviously the first part of the footage is quite jerky, we're going to want to get rid of some of it. So all we need to do is click trimmed download, and then down at the bottom we can use these sliders to just download to our mobile device the actual piece of the footage we want. Now, of course, you could have done that with the quick shot, for example, but because they're so short and they're autonomous, there's a good chance the drone has done a pretty good job at getting some epic footage to begin with. But if you're not quite so good on the sticks and you're just flying around, you want to just do a trim download rather than having to mess about with it in post later on, this is a great way of getting just a bit of the clips that you're going to need. So just like we did earlier, we can import that footage into the DJI Flight app editor. We can play around with it, add effects, music. One of the most popular effects I really like is this small world effect. Loads of people spend a huge amount of time recreating this effect in post. Not many people know that this effect is readily available just by tapping a button on the DJI Flight app. And once again, just like we did with our quick shot, we can just download that straight to our device and upload it to social media for the world to see. Now, it goes without saying, of course, that with the DJI Neo, when you do crop in, you are going to lose a little bit of quality, but always make sure you are recording in 4K. So when you do crop in, you're going to keep most of that quality in your video. And most importantly, not many people realize this, but when it does come to social media, sites such as Instagram and Facebook, they heavily downgrade your video footage. So if you are just sharing footage on the DJI Neo onto social media, looking at it using mobile phones and tablets, the quality you're going to get out of this process is going to be more than acceptable. So if you are new to the Neo and you didn't know any of the information I've just told you in this video, now you do. And if you are somebody that's been considering buying the DJI Neo, but the lack of vertical video has put you off buying it, now you know it's a really simple process to turn that horizontal video into vertical video for posting on social media. And of course, if you did know this already and you are an experienced drone flyer, well, thanks for watching anyway. So if you did find this video useful, please do give it a big thumbs up. It tells the YouTube algorithm more people just like you might want to watch my content. Subscribe if you're awesome. And until next time, see you again soon.